Hi guys, welcome to GuitarPlayerUniversity.com. I'm Drew Craig, and this is a beginner video showing you a very common thing that I see amongst all my beginner students when they're first starting out. You learn a few chords, and we have some problems switching between the chords fast enough so we can play a tune. I've developed a solution that helps people out very quickly with switching between chords, and it makes it a lot more efficient and it makes it a lot more fun to play these songs. So let's take a look. If you look at the PDF in front of you, you're going to see you have a D major open chord, you have an A major open chord, and an E major open chord. Now let me define open chord means we're using open strings with our fingers pushing down frets to create a chord. Now let's take a look first at the D chord, which is your first finger on the second fret of the G string, the second finger on the second fret of the E string, and your third finger on the third fret of the B string. Go ahead and give that a strum. And I want you to now take a look at the D chord versus the A chord. See if you see any similarities between those two chords. If you notice, your third finger, right here, stays on the same string when it moves to the A chord. So that is what I like to call a pivot finger. In other words, instead of lifting up all of our fingers and moving to the next chord, which is what we normally do, we are going to lift up our first and second finger, keep our third finger down, slide our third finger to the second fret, and then put our first and second finger down. In other words, every time we lift all of our fingers off the neck of the guitar, we've lost our place, we've lost our sight to be able to see where the next chord is. And we're pretty much blind going to the next chord, and more often than none we'll land on the wrong strings or the wrong fret. So what this does, this allows us to effectively move to the next chord quicker. So when you slide your third finger, you don't want to push down too hard. If you notice, when you play the guitar, we get these little grooves in our fingers. And we're going to use these grooves to slide, just like a train on a track, down the string into the next chord. So let's move back to our D chord, and I want you to practice one strum apiece for each chord. So strum your D chord once, and see how quickly you can lift up your first two fingers, slide your third finger down, and then put your first two fingers back, and strum your A chord. And just practice going back and forth a few times, one strum each. Just like that. Now go back to your D chord. Now I want you to take a look at the E open chord and any similarities between that and the D chord. And you'll notice your first finger stays on the G string. So that would be our new pivot finger, our first finger. Now basically what we do, we're going to strum the D chord. Now we're going to lift up our second and third finger, slide our first finger down into the E chord, and then put our second and third finger back. And this does the same thing. It allows us to switch the chord a lot quicker. It allows us to move a lot quicker, and we don't have to lift all of our fingers off the guitar, making us blind. Keep a close eye on my third finger. Notice it doesn't leave the fretboard. Now take a look at my first finger. Notice it doesn't leave the fretboard. So when we're first starting out on the guitar, we need every single advantage we can get to be able to play through chords quickly so we're not stumbling over them. Therefore, we can play a song in time and have it sound great. But thanks for watching, and thanks for tuning in to GuitarPlayerUniversity.com.